Morning. Now today we're going to dive into the subject and we're going to speak about the whole area of whether it's right for us to speak about race and religion. Now in my opinion, I don't think it's a good idea to sweep the whole issue underneath the carpet. And let me explain to you why. Now whenever you have a bracketed narrative, that is to say whenever you have blanks in a story, then what will happen is that hucksters, charlatans and radicalists will fill it up. And it stands to reason. Where angels fear to tread, then you will have darker forces moving into the real estate. So in my view, it's not a good idea not to speak about religion, because at the end of the day, you are creating more problems than actually providing a solution to solve this issue. And if you think about it, that's why you get extremism. That's why you get radicalists. That is why you get people buying into the whole ridiculous notion that if they martyr themselves, then they will be able to enter the gates of paradise. And waiting there will be 71 virgins. Okay. Of course, nobody told them about the details, like most of these virgins are nuns who come from the order of perpetual chastity, and most of them are 80 years old. So it's going to be a gummy experience because most of them don't have any teeth. Now these are just some details that a lot of people don't share with you. So you can see that whenever there is a blank in narrative, then what will happen usually is that a lot of funny people will come into the public square and fill it up with a lot of nonsense. So I don't believe that in the long run it's a good idea to bracket any form of narrative. Neither do I believe that the solution lies in outsourcing the problem to the police, because all the police can do is apply the black letter law, and that doesn't really further understanding. If anything, what it does is it drives the whole narrative and the whole discussion underground. So I don't believe that that's a good idea. But having said that religion is a subject that we can speak about, you have to understand that you can only talk about it if you are armed with knowledge. Because there's no such thing as true freedom in a state of ignorance. Now, let me just explain this by way of analogy. If you believe that the world is flat like a pizza, then you'll probably spend half your time wondering to yourself what will happen when your ship tips over the edge. And where will you go from there? And that's a great diffusion of energy because you're not armed with knowledge. But if you realize that the world was flat, not flat but round, then you could say that that whole process was a great diffusion of energy. So in the same respect, if you speak about religion without arming yourself with the right knowledge, then I don't think you're going to get much mileage from the whole idea of discussing it openly. I don't think it's possible for anybody to speak about another person's religion unless that person has really invested the time to actually understand it from the inside out. And when I mean understand it from the inside out, you really have to go at a very deep level, because religion is not just faith per se, but if you think about it, many people regard it as the source or the groundswell or even the touchstone of their identity. So whenever you speak about the whole idea of religion, you've got to understand that it comes with a whole lot of psychological baggages and emotional luggages. It's not a subject matter whereby you can speak about it in a way in which you can outsource the problem to, let's say, a laboratory, and they will basically be able to winnow the truth from the lies in order to give you a set of assumptions in order to start talking about this subject. I don't think that's possible, because religion, for lack of a better word, is based on the idea of faith accompli. That is to say, it's based on faith. It's not based on logic. Religion itself is an idea that exaggerates, that embellishes, that confects, that is the direct opposite of what we will regard as hard science. So it's not something whereby we can speak about it in order to reach a point of happy resolution. I don't think it's possible. I've tried it myself. And the furthest I've ever got is to reach a point where we agree to disagree respectfully. So I don't think it's possible to talk about religion if you're not armed with the right knowledge. But having said that, I think it's a good idea to speak about it and to even encourage people to look deeper into the whole idea of religion. Not deep at the level whereby it's you regard it as just stuff that you find in manga comics, but deep in the sense that if you look at Islam, then go back all the way to the Crusades, go back all the way to the Arfahum, go back all the way to the Intifada, the whole idea of it. And if you're looking at Judaism, go back all the way to the Shoah, to the Holocaust. Go back all the way, if possible, to the 40 days and 40 nights. Go back all the ways when they had a conversation with the Bush and they found themselves wandering around the desert for 40 years, which is a very good reminder and warning. Never listen to a Bush, George Bush, okay, because that is what will happen to you. So, like I said, religion is something that you can speak about. It's not something which I believe should be taboo, because if you talk about the whole idea of the digital age today and you try to impose your understanding by bracketing knowledge, by preventing people from thinking certain things, just because you have certain fears and anxieties based on what transpired in the past, then I don't think that is a cogent argument. Nobody is going to buy that idea. But I think in order to speak about it in a way whereby you can make progress and to reach a resolution, not a complete resolution, but one whereby you may just agree to disagree, then I think it's a good idea.